Anchors aweigh, my boys, anchors aweigh. Farewell to foreign shores, we sail at break of day.
Welcome back to A History of the Navy in 100 Objects. Today, we're looking at a double-sided model of an important ship in early American naval history, the Bonhomme Richard. John Paul Jones, a prominent figure in the beginning days of the U.S. Navy, was the captain of the Bonhomme Richard. This ship, and Captain John Paul Jones, would play an important role in America's fight for independence. At the time that John Paul Jones was active on the high seas, the Revolutionary War raged on in the American colonies. The newly founded Continental Congress began raising the funds for a modest navy. The goal was to cut down the British war efforts, and when they were met with small successes, the Continental Congress sent Benjamin Franklin as an ambassador to France in 1777. Franklin's goal was to gather support among European nations for the American war effort. He was successful when, in 1779, the King of France donated this ship to the Americans. We're joined by Dr. Scott Harmon, a former director of the museum, for the details.
Jones had been given command of an American sloop of war, the Ranger, sailed to Europe, made a cruise in the Ranger. Then he was supposed to get a new frigate. The British did not like this idea, persuaded the Dutch not to give Jones a frigate. However, the King of France managed to provide Jones with an old vessel. It was a French East Indiaman called the Duc de Duras. An East Indiaman was a merchant ship designed to sail from France to the Indies, to China, and bring back valuable goods. This ship was a little long in the tooth when Jones got it, and being a merchant ship, Jones had to make several modifications.
When you approach the ship model from the port side or left side here at the museum, you'll see that it is the Duc de Duras. On the starboard side, or right side, it shows the modifications that Jones made to transform the ship into a warship. It wasn't a very effective one, as it wasn't designed as a warship, but it is what Jones had at his disposal.
In the Bonhomme Richard, he set out with a small squadron, another American vessel, some privateers, some French ships, to sail around England looking for British merchantmen. This was their mission, to attack the merchant fleet of England, deprive the English of the goods the merchantmen were carrying, and enrich himself and the United States government. In September of 1779, Jones saw a British convoy and went after the convoy. He was accompanied by a couple of other vessels, but they did not form up in a battle line. And the escort from the British convoy, the HMS Serapis, intercepted the Bonhomme Richard, and a long battle ensued. During the course of the battle, the two ships became entangled. They were firing at such close range that the guns were no longer effective. They were just, the cannonballs were flying through the other ship without hitting anything. A lot of devastation, a lot of death and destruction on it. Finally, the battle came to an end when an American sailor climbed up the mainmast of the Bonhomme Richard, went out on the main yard and dropped some hand grenades on the deck of the Serapis. One of these hand grenades bounced through a hatch, exploded on the gun deck, set off the loose powder that was lying around, had been spilled, and the captain of the Serapis had to surrender his vessel. He came aboard the Bonhomme Richard, surrendered his sword to Jones. Jones refused it. Richard Pearson, captain of the Serapis, had fought a good battle, a gentleman, and Jones invited him into his cabin to have a glass of wine at the end of the battle. I think this is a very civil way to end a naval battle.
This battle also gave us a famous naval saying. During the action, all firing ceased for several moments, and Captain Pearson of the Serapis called out, "Have you struck your colors?" Captain Jones famously replied, "I have not yet begun to fight," after which the firing resumed. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you at the museum soon so that you can see this beautiful model for yourself.